Welcome to part 3 of this mini-series looking at how to create a chat app with Bubble. This video is only going to make sense if you check out the last 2 videos, each less than 10 minutes. But that's where I show how to structure the database, the importance of working with privacy rules, and getting this really simple UI with both a conversation and a messages column. We finished the last video looking at the workflow required. Let's just check back in with that. So create a new message where I give it content, participants, that's important for privacy, and conversation, that's important for grouping them together. I think we need to test it and then work through the elements that don't work quite so well in it. I'm going to just run as one of my demo users. And I'm going to get a mainly blank page. So first thing I need to do is a way of creating a new conversation between two users. So let's have a button at the top of my conversation panel. I'll label that new. Give it a little bit of padding beneath it. There we go. And then I need a pop-up. I'm going to make this a search box. Okay, and the search is going to search for users who to create a new chat with, and then this needs a button. Okay, so let's do a search for dynamic choices and define the options as user. And then I want to search by first name. If we have a look at my database, I'm going to be trying to search for Nigel and creating a new conversation with Nigel. So then I don't want it to be empty. Cool, that's good. Let's check my privacy settings for users because I want to be able to search for Nigel. So I need to say that everyone can do a search for users by first name. I think that will work. Okay, start conversation. So first up, we need to create a new conversation, and the participants are going to be okay, I need to add both myself and Nigel. So I'm not working with a list. So I think I'll just have to do it in 2 steps of the workflow. So participants add search box A's value. So that will be the Nigel value. And I don't have another field for conversation. Okay. So then let's add another step. Just because I don't have a list ready. I'm making a list on the fly, so it's not create a new thing. It is make changes to a thing. Step 2, and then participants add myself, current user. So I add in the other user, I add in myself, and then I need to hide my pop-up. I need to show my pop-up. Let's test it. So I'm signed in as Matt, myself. Everything's empty. Create new. Nigel. Okay. Start conversation. Okay, there is my conversation with Nigel. Let's create a message. Okay, and it comes through. I'm just going to give all of these things some borders because otherwise it is not very easy to see what's going on. Okay. And same here. my conversations and my message to Nigel. Let's create another test user. Let's go with Charlotte. Okay. Because then we can check to see whether my workflows around changing conversations work. So let's create a new conversation with Charlotte. Okay, and if I click on Charlotte, it goes empty, and I can say hi, Charlotte. Okay, and then there's my message. And if I click on Nigel, it goes back to Nigel's conversation. So let's test this also as another user. So this time I'm going to sign in Charlotte. Now Charlotte should see that Matt has initiated the conversation and that the message is hi Charlotte. So I will send one back saying hi Matt. And then if I sign in as my Matt demo and then go on to Charlotte, I get my next message, hi Matt. Okay, so there's something that I want to improve here, which is that Charlotte's conversation has received the message most recently, but it's appearing below Nigel. So what can I do about that? So I could use database triggers, but in order to use database triggers, I need to be on a paid plan. So the database trigger would mean that when a new message is created, I update a field in conversation. I need to make that field regardless. So this can be last updated, and it can be a date. Okay, but I'm not going to use database triggers because this demo app is on a free plan and I don't get access to database triggers with a free plan. So what I can do instead is that when I create a message, I'm going to add in another field, another workflow step of data, make changes to thing, parent groups conversation, date, last updated, current time of date, and then if I go back to the conversation here, I can say order by last updated descending order. Okay, none of my messages so far have got I prompted that field to be created, so let's just run it again. So let's go hi Charlotte, how are you? Okay, and you'll see Charlotte has gone to the top there. Let's try it again with Nigel. What's the weather like? Very British. And Nigel goes to the top. So there we have it. This is very simple. There are actually, I could continue this series, which I might well do in the future, of other things to cover when it comes to a chat app. For example, what's going to happen when these chat bubbles reach all the way to the bottom? I want to be able to scroll. There's also a common frustration in the bubble community of chat apps. You want the repeating group to be reversed because you want the bottom to load first and then to be able to scroll up into past posts. Those are all topics for other videos. Oh, another one being group messages. But this is the bedrock, the foundation for building a chat app in Bubble. And in the future, I may well come back to this and add to it in order to flesh it out and make it work a lot better with some of those features I just mentioned.